Welcome back to Horsepower and Hidden Treasures. We got some more horsepower for today. We are doing our automatic transmission conversion on our once was stick shift Mustang GT. So right now we are currently putting the stock tune back on it. That way this ECU is a stock ECU. Our SCT device will be unlocked. That way we can load our E85 tune onto our new ECU that's going in. So we're getting the battery charged up. It's been sitting for like 8 months, so it's been pretty dead. Getting that all done up. As soon as that ECU is back to stock, we're gonna pull that ECU out. We're gonna start stringing along our wiring harness. All right, so we got our ECU. It's turned back to stock. So now we're gonna start clearing up some room in our engine bay. And first I'm gonna start by taking off our cold air intake. I already unplugged one sensor here, pull this tube out, and all I have to do now is loosen this. That should be plenty loose right there. Guess we're gonna go ahead and pull that John off. We got a lot more room, that way we can swing in with our new wiring harness. And also that fan's not supposed to be all gapped off like that, but we're gonna pull it off anyways because we did have to go ahead and buy a transmission cooler. Since we had a stick shift trans, we did not have a trans cooler for the manual. So we gotta figure out how to install that in between our radiator and our AC condenser, which will be up front, in front of that. So this new one will go right in between it. So that's off. I think the next thing I'm gonna do on this, I'm probably just gonna pull this whole front bumper off. It's just gonna make my life a lot easier and give us a lot more room to play with. All right, one of the first things we're gonna be attempting to install is our transmission cooler. Go ahead and get it unpackaged now. This is just a cheap eBay cooler. I think it was 40 or 50 bucks. We don't need nothing special yet. It's just gonna be a stock trans, nothing crazy. Here it is, it's just this little guy. I believe this slot up here will go in like this. Obviously we have our two inlets, outlets right there. Measure this up real quick. That all looks good. All right, we get you guys a better camera position and we'll get this installed. All right guys, first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull these tabs off right here, which they're 2 10s in each hole. I went ahead and already zipped those out, so we're just gonna pull them off real quick. All right, with that we have a little more surface area we get to play with. All right guys, the camera did die. So what we ended up doing, we took these brackets off and that allowed us to push the radiator forward, and we kind of snaked it in there like so. The prongs or the fittings are at the bottom. So now whenever we put the trans in, we have the trans lines that we'll have to fish through here and hook up to them once we're done with that. But for now, we've started fishing through the new wiring harness. So we're just kind of following along and replacing what we unplug. This is our new harness right here. So we're currently doing that. I'm stuck right back here behind the engine. There's a connector or something I can't get to, but there's no transmission in it. So what I'm thinking is I jack the car up, get under it. That way I can see that connector and get better access to the release tab on it and get it out. But really it's just gonna be a slow, tedious process of unplugging and plugging back in. So we're gonna get to it right now. All right, we're back with some shop help. We got the foreman, he's watching the job, we're getting it done. We did go ahead and we were trying to just like unplug one, then plug one in from the new harness. But we just kept getting bound up, and it's common sense. You can see the connector, you know where the connector plugs into. So we just fished that all out. And we're about halfway through getting our harness done. We just now fished it down where the transmission will be. So we're gonna have a transmission lead that's gonna lay there. Let's cover our mess we have working right now. So we do need to fish the other half up top. We will start connecting all of that back up and leave all of our transmission stuff down here for now until we can get the trans and slap it back in. So we're gonna keep fishing stuff through, get it connected, and hopefully in the next clip, we'll have a harness installed. All right, guys, we got the wiring harness all installed. It's looking real good. Everything's plugged up. There's a couple little spots that we need to like secure a little bit better, but everything is plugged in. Next up, we're moving to our ECU. All you have to do for that is pull these tabs, pop the fuse box up, and then you got room to access the tray. And it's two little 8mm bolts. You can see those holes, one at the top, one at the bottom. Unplug these two guys right here. So I've already done all that. And now it's just time to throw in our new one. This one right here is our old one. Yeah, I'm kind of curious why this one says Continental on it. Disregard, they both say Continental. This one just looks prettier. Cool, so we're gonna go ahead and take this one, install it, and we'll move on to the next thing. All right, guys, the ECU is fully installed. We got everything buttoned back up, all plugged in, bolted in, looking nice. So now we're gonna move on to our brake booster and our pedals, but we are gonna start the brake booster first. We're gonna pull this guy off. That way, when we get inside, we can push this out. So we're gonna go ahead and take this off, which is just us disconnecting a couple lines, these two right here, and a couple bolts down low, and we'll pull that right off. I'm gonna do a little time lapse just so you guys don't see me busting my knuckles up. So it ended up being about 10 times more difficult. I don't know if it's because of the clutch line. I have the braces because I have PP1 car performance packs. We got some extra stuff up here blocking the way, but had to unbolt that, move it out of the way, pull it out slowly. We had a clutch line bracket right here that goes onto these two bolts. So there's two bolts holding those on first. Had to pull those two off, and there's another two bolts hidden right behind it. And get those off. Overall, that took me way longer than it should have. But we're done pulling that off. So before we put our new one on, we're gonna go inside and disconnect our brake booster. And we're gonna get our brake booster pulled off. We're gonna change out our pedals. And hopefully putting on the new master cylinder and the brake booster will be a lot easier than it has been removing it. Because, again, it's about 10 times harder than it was on the other car. It's a new day. We got our clutch brake pedal assembly out. Not after literally ripping it to pieces on accident. We got our old brake booster out, and we got everything installed. We got our new brake pedal. Don't mind them not matching, but I think I can get away with using my factory gas pedal. I have the other one just in case I need to use it, but I don't foresee me having to do that. And up here we got our brake booster installed. Got our sensors plugged in, hose plugged in. Now we just need to throw our master cylinder on, and we'll be done with that part. And then after that, we're gonna slap our trim pieces back on in there, and then we get to throw the steering wheel on. So we're getting there piece by piece. After we throw the steering wheel and the brake reservoir master cylinder thing on, we'll be doing the flex plate, transmission stuff. That's when the fun's really gonna start. But again, that brake pedal assembly was a real pain in the ass to get out. Excuse my French, but it's out and we're rolling, and we're gonna have a running race car here soon. It's coming together. All right, guys, we are back, and this one was a quick one. So we went ahead and got the new steering wheel installed. I still need to clean it up quite a bit. It's kind of gross looking. And I'm gonna end up buying my carbon fiber overlay pieces again. You see these over here on the side. Get some light on them. I'll buy those, and I'm gonna put those on later on. Just looks too bland and cheap. I really just don't like the chrome polish, brushed metal look. But interior is done. We got that all back together. Other than we got our center console halfway torn apart just because we're putting a shifter in it and whatnot. But that means we're ready to start working on the underside, aka transmission. But first, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna get our flex plate installed. And to do that, coming from a manual car, switching to an auto, there's a pilot bearing. The pilot bearing sits on the back and connects kind of where that drive shaft is. And I'll show you what it looks like right now. Sorry, lighting's not the best, but it's that little middle piece. You see how it kind of has the little ball bearings inside of it. So for that, all we need is a hammer, a big screw, and the next part, you'll never believe it. Bread. Not just bread, but white bread, and it needs to be moist. So I'm not really sure how I'm gonna make that work. I have a jug of water, I can make it moist, but how moist do you want bread? And what it does, whenever you stuff all the bread in there and you put the screw on top of it and start hitting it with a hammer, it's making like a compression from the inside, so it's automatically forcing it out. Real weird concept. I still don't really understand it. I have done it before and it does work. So, and that one was a pain in the butt. It was like a 220,000 mile Jeep Cherokee and it was a real pain. So I'm hoping with my car only having 70,000 miles, it's a lot newer than that Jeep was, I'm hoping it'll pop right out, but only time will tell. I'm gonna time myself just out of curiosity and I'll try to get you guys some shots under the car. All right, guys, as you can see, we got our first piece of bread fully stuffed in there. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take this bolt we got right here, put it right in the middle, start hammering. All right, guys, what I found out is an extension with a 10 on it works best. Don't waste your time. If your bolt doesn't fit that circle perfectly, don't do it. I looked up some tips and they said a 3/8 extension with a 10 millimeter, like a shallow socket, does the trick. And it started moving quite a bit, so I restarted so you guys could see it. Man, it's coming. All right, we're gonna pull this out. I'm afraid I'm gonna lose my socket in there, to be honest. Yeah, I lost my socket in there, so we're gonna pop it back in there. Keep hitting it. I think that's out. Just about. There's some more smacks of the hammer. It has came out and good Lord, look at all that smushed up bread, just compacted. That's gonna be a fun one to clean up. So I'm gonna go ahead and start working on cleaning this up. Pilot bearing is officially out. So we're gonna get this cleaned up. We're gonna zip our flex plate on it and we'll get this show on the road. Boom. We got our flex plate on now. Got all lined up. About to throw a little bit of Loctite on these bolts right here. Put it in, and we're gonna torque them down to 80 foot-pounds of torque. And then we'll be done with the flex plate. And all that'll be left is putting the transmission in and the starter over there. Guys, we're approaching the finish line. And voila, we are torqued down 80 foot-pounds of torque right there. We got them all zipped in, torqued spec. We're done. done with this part. We're to go. We're gonna drain the fluid in our old trans. We don't want to put no junk in here. So we're gonna drain it. We're gonna put some new fluid in it and we'll get ready to slap it in. All right, we got our new transmission fluid in. It was extremely dark, as you can see. I made quite a mess. I'll clean that up tomorrow. But got it all out. I filled up the torque converter as well. I'll get that slapped into that first thing in the morning. But as you can see outside, it's pretty dark. And you gotta pick up or take the kiddos to school in the morning. So gonna call it a night right now, but we've made great progress today. So all we got left to do is put a torque converter in the trans and slap the trans in, put our shifter assembly on up top and our drive shaft and our exhaust, and we're done. We're down to like the final 4 pieces of the puzzle. And this puzzle consisted of approximately 400 pieces. So we're getting places. We're almost done. We're about to have a running race car. All right, guys, the transmission, it's officially in. We just got to tighten up a couple bolts, but we have everything in for the most part. We got our trans brace all dialed in and hooked up. There it is right there. You got a couple more bell housing bolts to tighten up. Then we'll throw the starter back on it. And after that, drive shaft, shifter, I think that's it. Then we gotta retune the new ECU, but that's nothing. I just plug something in for that. And we'll be done. Fingers are gonna be crossed that everything works. I've never done something like this before. I mean, I've done engine swaps, I've done transmission swaps, but never a manual to automatic conversion. So we're gonna see all together how this goes. All right, we got the transmission installed. We're uploading our new tuner right now. There's a little undershot. We haven't connected the drive shaft yet.
You need a fucking beer fridge out here, dude.
That's what I'm saying. I had some assistance. We got our oil cooler lines on, our trans cooler lines. Just waiting on our tune now, and we're gonna try to start this mug. We're gonna find out if I messed up or not, essentially.
If anything, it just might detonate and file a claim.
If it detonates, we have to buy another parts car, and we don't want to do that. We're jumping it. It's super dead, so we're jumping it with a good old F150. We're gonna get her cranking. Guys, we are doing the first startup. Fingers are crossed. We'll see how this goes.
I'm nervous.
A little bit.
It won't turn over at all. And the steering column, is it a key or is it push?
Well, as you guys seen, it did not start. So it's next day. I just took out our old gas pedal and put our gas pedal in from the automatic car. So we're hoping maybe that does the trick, but we're thinking we need a new BCM, which is a fuse box that goes under the glove box over there. So the guy I just sold the white car to, he said he has it still and he'd be willing to let me get it. So gonna get that and we're gonna see if this gets it going. All right, guys, so it turns out we might need the BCM, the body control module. And I sold our parts car with it still on it. I messaged the guy. He's cool. He's gonna let me get it. I do have to trade him some parts that are worth a lot more than the BCM, but it's about $100 more, but it'll be worth it for the VIN from the BCM to match the VIN on the ECU. So we're about to go over there. We're about to go pick up that BCM, make the trade for our steering wheel cover / airbag, whatever you want to call it. So we're gonna go pick that up, go slap it on the car. Hopefully that works. But if it doesn't, we are gonna hook it up to Forescan. I'm gonna go pick up an adapter from my buddy. I ordered one, but it's not gonna be here for a couple more days. And I'm impatient. I want my car running. It's been 8 months without it, 7, 8 months. And I'm ready to hear it run again. I'm ready to take it for a test drive, ready to see how the automatic performs in it. So we're gonna go do all that right now, and next clip you see will be at home, hopefully installing it. I'll keep you posted. All right, we got it all pieced back together. We just threw the exhaust on, threw the new BCM on. It's all installed over there. Put the trim back on, got it looking good. Shifter assembly's bolted down. So all we're waiting on now, my buddy's coming over with his force scan. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna get inside the computer, the mainframe, and we're gonna tell it to recognize my key. It doesn't recognize my key since we did the body control module, so I can see if it starts. And we're also waiting on our tune revision. So Alex Ortiz and his team, they're great. They're working on it right now. As of right now, all we have is a stock tune, which luckily I changed it to 91 before doing the swap. So stock tune, it should still fire up. And that's what I would think. But they're getting us a 93, 91 tune and an E85 tune along with a trans tune. So we're getting there piece by piece. My buddy, he should be here in the next 30 minutes to an hour or so. And we'll show you the first startup. Just got it off the jack stands. It's weird. It is weird standing next to this car with no jack stands, being over the roof. This thing was like 3 foot up in the air. Nah, maybe 2 foot. Let's not get too crazy. It's probably lifted 2 foot up in the air. So seeing it right now, it's completely sitting down level. It's looking nice. I'm just hoping it starts nice. You know, we're hoping. We're still waiting. He should be here any minute. But it's off of jack's hands, makes it a little easier to work on since now we're just doing programming, tuning, that sort of stuff. So we're gonna get that knocked out real quick, and we'll be back with hopefully a first start. Hopefully this try goes a little bit better than our first try. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. We played with force scan a lot on it. Still didn't seem to fix our problems. So I got my new tune from Mr. Ortiz. Got the new tune, it's uploading right now. And we just had to go pick up a brand new battery because our old one was shot after sitting here for 7-8 months with no charge and nothing going to it. So we're gonna get this tune installed and hope it works, because I'm about out of ideas and I'm ready to get this thing driving. I miss it. I'm ready to be rolling through some gears. And then I did get a little distracted. I started wet sanding my fender. It was repainted. Dude did an iffy job. There's a lot of orange peel on it, some high spots. So wet sanded it all down. We're gonna get that buffed and polished. And we're gonna get her looking good. We're gonna get her driving good. And stay tuned. All right, guys, we got our tune all installed. This is gonna be our first time trying to crank it over. We'll see what happens. Sounds like that starter's not engaging correctly. All right, let's figure that out. All right, my buddy Adam came over. He helped me out. We got the brakes bled. He had a fancy little machine bobber dilly put right there. Started at the back, bled all the brakes. Just since we got a new master cylinder, new brake booster, the pedal's super airy and just wouldn't hold pressure. So we fixed that problem. We have one more thing we got to go do. We got to go get force scan, and there's like a transmission thing you have to type in, and we'll program the transmission to this ECU. And as soon as that's done, it should start up. It should idle, should drive. We'll see. We're getting there. We're just buttoning up the last few things. All right, guys, we're back. We're gonna disconnect this battery real quick because I put my steering wheel on crooked. See, my wheels are straight right now. And this is how we're looking. A little lopsided. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna get this steering wheel pulled off and just realign it real quick. I thought maybe I just need an alignment. No, it's literally just put on cockeyed. So pull this off, just 2 bolts on each side, or 2 tabs. I stick an Allen wrench through and it'll spring out, pop that out, 1 bolt. So I'm gonna go ahead, get that popped off, put back on, and we'll get this thing fired up. All right, guys, we are back on. I didn't even disconnect the horn or the airbag. I literally just pulled it up to the side and got this bolt out, turned it over a little bit, and we're all straight. Let's get this thing started now, huh? All right, we're back in. We got battery again. I got my tune from Alex Ortiz, got it all uploaded. So everything is good now. Gets fired up. Oh yeah. We are running. We got a bunch of warning lights. The ABS light right there. I didn't switch the module, so I'm gonna go grab the ABS module off my parts car probably tomorrow. I'll put that back on and have to rebleed the brakes again. But guys, we're up and going. We already programmed the transmission to the ECU. That was a whole process you have to go through on Forescan, and the sticker on the side of the transmission. And you plug that number into the computer. So we did that, and there's like a shift pattern to relearn the trans. But right now it's like a 500 mile trans break-in, like relearn. So for 500 miles, I have to be very nice to it. And other than that, we're done. Gotta put the new ABS module on. So I think that's the last thing we need to do. So there's not gonna be any other clips other than me doing that, and we'll take it for a rip. All right, guys, if you made it this far, I appreciate all of you guys watching. This swap took me a total of 8 months or so, and we're still dialing in a couple things. That steering wheel, it's crooked again. So I thought it was straight, but when I went out and drove it, it's a little lopsided. So we are gonna have to go get that alignment. Couple other things to dial in, but we're done. We're driving. I ripped on it, and whew, it's fast. So we're gonna have better times at the drag strip now. We'll be documenting that. But for now, the auto conversion is finished. If you have any questions, if you're doing this yourself, feel free to get in the comments and ask questions. I'll respond to all of them. And other than that, like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.